Welcome to The Road Reflected with Nicole Wakeland. Automotive from the lighter side. That means cars, but also cookies, coffee, and pie. Up first, what's Nicole behind the wheel of this week?
So this week it's kind of the all trucks all the time episode of The Road Reflected.
Hauling.
With neither did I actually do that, but
Hauling air.
Yes, there you go. That's accurate. So what I have in my driveway is the 2023 Ford Maverick, which is a compact truck. So not big, pint size. So it's not the truck you buy if you want to do huge truck things, but it is like, I want some truck things, but not all the truck things. I kind of think of them like compact trucks as sort of the crossovers of the truck segment.
Yeah.
Like you don't want a giant SUV for 50 people and all their cargo, but you want a little extra cargo room.
Right.
You want a little extra ground clearance. Well,
Extra room, but affordably.
right. And compact trucks give you that. So this actually came out for 2022. The model I had, there's a 24, but I'm in the 23.
Okay, you're in the
those
middle.
numbers. I'm in the middle. So very little changes from 22 to 23. It's like first model year, second model year. It's little things. One of the big things, or the big thing, is they added the Tremor package.
What does that do?
So it's funny. So it gets a cool Tremor graphic on the back of the car, which was kind of funny because the car arrived and I wasn't here when it initially arrived. And what I got was from my daughter, you got a Tremor this week. I'm like,
got a Tremor.
That's not a car, but I know it's a truck. Yeah. It's like, not quite. So I got a Maverick with the Tremor package. It's not even a Trem level. It's actually a package that you can add to the Lariat and the XLT trims. We have the XLT. It's $3,000 for this fancy little package. And it gives you some off-road like capability. There's a 1-inch suspension lift, a locking rear diff. You have a little steel skid plate there and something they call trail control, which is actually really cool. So you've experienced cruise control on the highway. Most people have, right? Yeah. You set the speed, you just steer and the car drives, right? So it keeps itself at the speed that you set and you can go up, you can go down. It's the exact same thing, but the idea is for off-roading. So instead of it's 60 miles an hour,
slow.
It's super slow.
It's like auto rock.
We're talking like you can set it like for degrees of 1 mile per hour. And I don't know how high it goes on the Maverick, but a lot of times it's like 5 or 10 miles per hour.
It's actually good practice so you don't go too fast by accident.
It keeps you right. So it keeps the speed. So if you're on something where you're a little bit nervous or more so in cars that are or vehicles that are heavy duty off-roaders, but still if you're in something more technical and you think I have got to focus on steering and what's ahead of me, you don't have to worry about managing the throttle. The truck will just be like, well, you want to go 4? We got you. Handy. We will just go 4. So even if you're like, no matter up or down, it'll bring you up to 4. If you're going a little slower, bring it back down. So it's great. It's cruise control for off-roading.
Okay.
So and it adds some cool stuff. You get, like I said, the Tremor graphic that makes people think the name of the vehicle is Tremor. Right. And I believe you get some orange trims and stuff inside, so it looks a little
cool
snazzier.
Inside.
It does.
I like the door handles.
Yes, so that's an everything Maverick. That's not specific to this. And what the door handles do, if you think traditionally where like your armrest is on your door, right? And it's a complete thing. It connects from like where your elbow is to where your fingertips is connected. It's sort of like a long U that it connects both ends. This one, imagine you have a spot you can wrap your hand entirely around like a handle. It like sticks out. What it does is it makes a spot where the bottle, like a water bottle would go, gigantic. In fact, when they did the launch, they gave us, you've seen this, that gigantic Maverick water bottle that I have, because it's the biggest water bottle on the planet. You can put really tall bottles in there. So you don't have to worry about having it sideways or not being able to fit it all, or you're giant, like I'm going to drink 8,000 gallons of water today. I got to start on the way to work. This will help you. So it's real. And it does make it easier. And the way it's carved out, weirdly, it also kind of makes it feel a little bit bigger because now there's a little bit of openness that wouldn't be there. Little bits of open in a vehicle, you'd be surprised how much a little bit of open can make it
makes you feel larger. Your
bigger.
Elbow goes, there's a little extra space for your elbow.
Like so it opens it up.
It's easier to grab actually because you can grab it from sort of the side or the top.
Right? So I kind of love it. I think it's great.
And it looks cool. They got those little rivets in it. It gives it a little rugged look.
So this is a cool look inside. Now this truck, just to be clear, this is an affordable truck. The one that I have, which is, grabbing my little sheet because I forgot to write it in my show notes. I'll fess up. The XLT Tremor all-wheel drive is $24,500.
That's quite affordable, feels
right? And so then when you add on, this one has the Tremor off-road package, a few little other bits and pieces that have been added onto it. So as it's sitting on our driveway this very moment, $32,500.
That's still pretty solid.
So it's not an outrageous price, and you still get a decent amount of capability. It has a 2-liter engine with 250 horsepower. That's fine. It has all-wheel drive. Starting for the whole trim lineup, though, you can get into a Maverick for about $23,000.
Right.
Which is really cheap. So if you don't
price
want,
for hauling stuff around the house,
right?
just like
if you don't want the
work.
fancy, you don't have to have the fancy. And you still do. Now, towing for the whole truck, up to 4,000 pounds, payload 15. That drops a little bit with the Tremor because it doesn't offer, it doesn't offer, there's a trailer package you have to get for the extra towing. They don't offer it with this configuration. So it's 2,000 pounds and a 1,200 payload. Still a good amount of room, a good amount of capability. It's not like you're going to run out of the, oh God, I can't tow anything. I can't haul anything. That's not what's going to happen. So I love this truck, and I love that it's not fancy inside. Mm-hmm. It's not intended to be a fancy truck, and it has things like plastic, the little thing that covers up the center console, like little tray where you throw your keys or whatever. Right. It actually, that little piece of plastic lifts entirely out as one thing. It's like a flexible rubber thing, so you can take it inside and clean it.
Right.
Like it
doesn't feel cheap. It feels nice inside. No, even though it's affordable.
It's an inexpensive truck. Like if you get in something that's, a $90,000 truck, suddenly you will see the difference.
Right.
Don't make any mistake. This doesn't have real wood trims and
none of that stuff.
None of that kind of stuff. But that's not where you're buying this. I feel like the Maverick is a great choice for somebody who wants to sort of do truck light. I want a little bit of truck capability. I want the ability to take some stuff to the dump. It has a short bed. It's not a huge long bed, so it limits what you can put in there. But like you said, if you're hauling air, do you really want a giant truck hauling air most of the time? Or would you rather have a little truck so that you have the benefit of it being a little more compact, way, way easier to deal with driving in parking lots, or if you live someplace where city streets are a bit narrow, or you're trying to park in things that are kind of tight. So much easier to park something like a Maverick than it is its big brother, the F-150, which is a great truck. The other thing the Maverick has, so this is the gas engine. It is available as a hybrid. So you can get, cool. So you can get a hybrid Maverick if you want it. So I'm a big fan of this truck. It's quiet, it's comfortable, it's still roomy in the back. I mean, you sat in the back of this, and you had enough room. You're 6'3".
There's plenty of room for four in this truck. It's not one of those pickup trucks where the back seat is tiny.
Right.
Or an afterthought, or really just storage. Like, it's actually a place you could sit a family.
Headroom is normally good in a truck because cabs are sort of square.
Right.
You don't have to worry about it like you do in something that's a crossover or a sedan that might have more of a sloped roofline to it. But legroom, depending on the truck, you know, especially a compact truck, this one, you could fit 3 adults back there. 2, totally comfortable. 3, you could even do that for a decent amount of time. So I feel like it's roomy. I'm a big fan of the Maverick. I was a fan of it the minute I drove it. Some vehicles I drive the first time, like, okay, fine, this is okay. Like, this is all right. This does the job. It's all right. I can see some people get this, or, oh, I like this, but I don't understand why we need this. This one I think is great. I really think the Maverick does a great job. And for people, like I said, you want to get into a truck. You don't need a huge truck, but you want some of that truck versatility to carry stuff around. You have it with this. You have it at an affordable price point. And if you're like, people are loyal to a brand, are you loyal to Ford? Are you loyal to Ram? Are you loyal to Chevy? If you're a Ford loyalist and you cannot stomach moving anywhere else, you know, you can get a Ford Maverick at a really reasonable price. And then one day you can move up to the F-150, which, you know, moving up to that, your price also goes way up.
But it's also got a really cool name that just makes you want to request a flyby.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe you looped in a Top Gun reference.
Negative Maverick. The pattern is full.
Oh, gosh. Okay, everyone, if you like what you're hearing, then go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe either on YouTube or your favorite podcatcher.
Yes, and don't forget to leave us those positive reviews on iTunes.
Okay, I had another truck that I drove that was not here. This was actually a drive program that I went to a couple weeks ago for a significantly larger truck. Truck, words are hard. The 2025 Ram 1500.
So now we are in the present with the Ford, and now we're in the future.
Actually, we're technically in the past. We were in 2023.
Yeah, now we've jumped ahead. We just skipped a whole year.
We
right
skipped
past
a year.
24.
Whoosh, guys, just
and we're in
25,
minutes. Truckland 25.
Right, so we're in Truckland 2025. So the Ram 1500 is not all new, but there are some pretty significant changes this year. One of the big changes is they've added a new top trim level. And a lot of the automakers are doing that. They're trying, because they make more money on those fancy trims, right? The margins are better. So they've introduced, it used to be the Limited was the top trim in the Ram 1500. No more. The Limited's still there. It still does its Limited thing. Now you have one called the Tungsten.
Ooh, just to go metal all the way.
Right, like tungsten.
Full metal.
Right? And the Tungsten is the new super premium top trim of the Ram 1500
This is getting into
lineup.
luxury truck territory?
Absolutely. So do the Limited, but this, absolutely. You get real metal and you get real wood. There is a very fancy Klipsch. I always say that Klipsch audio system. Ooh. That's and I believe it's the first time they've done one in a vehicle like this. So it's kind of a big deal.
Speakers?
It does. It's I think 23
what?
speakers
In a truck cab? Where
I
do you put them all?
believe. Yeah, big truck. This is a full size truck. This is a little teen truck like the Maverick. This is a big truck.
This is a big truck.
So, but two of the speakers, it looks both amazing and absolutely redonkulous. So if you look on the backs of the front seats, there's a speaker grill. I don't know, maybe 3 by 3. It's a decent sized square. It's on the backs of the front seats.
Shooting into the back seat. Projecting into the back seat, but then also bouncing off the back window and come back to the driver.
I don't know.
So you got like speak audio going in both directions.
Some audio engineer somewhere looked at it and said, well, we can do this. It looks, you sit down in the back seat and you're like, what? What am I looking at? Why is there this thing facing me for the front seat? So it has these fancy speakers. It also has 24-way adjustable front seats. 24.
I want to think that's cool, but it also seems excessive.
Yeah. So every time I have a vehicle that has that many different things, I'm like, I don't know. Is it?
I count
it's
5.
Kind of like, you know what it's like when you're at the eye doctor and they're like, is it better this way or this way?
Oh, right. And you're like,
is it better this way or this way? And you're like, I don't
know.
I don't know. One or two. You're like, you do the same thing with this truck. I don't know if it's more comfortable. Is it more comfortable this way?
And then how do you find the adjustment you actually need? Like, if there's 24 different buttons you can push, like, how do you?
You just keep playing around with it, I guess, until you think, I now feel comfortable. Okay. I can see the road above the hood of this gigantic truck.
Is this the lumbar support? No, it's the lower back.
My back doesn't feel under-supported or over-supported. My thighs don't feel under-supported.
The massager, oh no. Is there a massager?
Yes.
Of course there is.
So there's a million things. So in terms of like comfort, bring it. Like the tungsten is going to make you comfortable. And it is beautiful. It is premium in every way. It looks absolutely beautiful. And you get these metal tungsten badges throughout the truck. In fact, there's one on the giant center armrest because big trucks always have huge center consoles that you could, put, I don't know.
Yeah, like a desk. It's basically a little office.
It's like huge, right? But on it, that says tungsten, and then the VIN number for your vehicle is under that too. It's like tungsten 493.
So you can glance down there.
So it just looks fancy.
My VIN, here it is.
I guess there's somebody who didn't know would think, oh, is this some limited edition? No, it's just my VIN.
Just my VIN, but it looks cool. It's like my serial number.
Exactly. It's like your VIN right there. Like, I got my VIN on here because I got the tungsten. So I guess that's kind of cool. Okay. So that's a neat thing. They also this year, and people are sad about this, but I think the world is going to be just fine.
Uh-oh.
The Hemi V8, gone.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and truck guys. Well, a lot of people.
How do we get our power? How do we get all our power?
I shouldn't say truck guys. All people, like most people who like cars, like power. And it's like, no, it's gone.
Yeah.
So what they have instead is a new twin turbo inline 6, which gives you up to 540 horsepower. There's different
That seems like a pretty good number.
It is a pretty good number.
Horses.
So you're going to be just fine.
Okay.
You got 540 horsepower. That's plenty of horsepower.
Does it tow a lot too?
It still has high tow ratings, it still does all the stuff you want it to do. It's just not that V8 anymore. Okay. V8s are,
they're kind of, it's hard to get those cafe standards.
Yeah, and an inline 6 is a much more efficient way of doing it in terms of all the engineering.
We're all going to miss the noises though, let's be honest.
Yeah, the noises. Although, they do noises for EVs have to have, like an EV has to have a cool noise, right? It has to have
like
a
little
noise.
Angels humming or something.
No, but they can put any noise they want. And Dodge is going to have EVs, and their noises
are they going to growl?
Awesome. They're going to be really cool. In fact, it's going to be cool. They previewed stuff like months and months and months ago, and they were going to have that, like, our EVs are going to sound cool. And so I think
I will say that I like turbo whine, because it reminds me of Vipers from Battlestar Galactica.
It does.
So it's got the Viper vibe, which I'm totally cool with. So I'm okay with turbo whine.
Honestly, I thought the same thing. I was at something with Hellcats. I can't remember what I was at. We were driving Hellcats on a track, and every time they came down the straightaway, just that they do sound cool. Once you recognize that is cool.
Yeah. The
that
turbo
sounds really neat. Yeah. So the thing with this is, first of all, price. Let's talk price a little bit. You know how we were saying,
so I'm expecting a very large number.
That the starting price on ye old Maverick was $23.
Right. Nice entry level. You can actually afford a truck for a family.
The starting price on the 2025 Ram 1500 is about $42,000.
Oh, that's like almost double.
Which full-size truck, more capable, more stuff, more all the things more.
Right.
Fancier interior even on that base. Like it's a nice truck, right? But if you go all the way up to the tungsten trim, $89,000.
Honestly, I thought it was going to hit six figures.
No.
They somehow kept it below 90.
I wonder if you probably
I'm sure you could.
I bet you could.
But I
don't
feel
know.
like I thought it was going to be six. So, I mean, it's still a lot.
89,000.
But when you start to talk to commercial contractors and folks who buy these things for a living, like that's not
well, and that's the thing. Like this is, if you're a guy who has a truck and you want it to be fancy and you want to look like you've arrived and you also you're a contractor, you still need your truck, but you want to be comfortable, but you can't exactly do your business stuff with a Mercedes because you'll destroy it.
Right.
Buy yourself a tungsten and then you can have all the cool comfort, fancy, upscale luxury of the interior, but still have all the truck.
Right.
It's it's like a mullet. Party up front.
Like
or business in the front, party in the back.
Right.
It divides it up.
You
have
party in the back.
Comfort in the front and business in the back in this one. So one of the things that they did too, there are some other things. They changed how it looks a little bit. They altered little exterior stuff that you're probably not honestly going to see unless you park a 24 and a 25 right next to each other. Nothing dramatic. But inside, you did also get a couple things. They now have a 12-inch infotainment touchscreen or a 14.5 inch. So the screens got bigger. And screens have just been getting bigger and bigger. And in some vehicles, they just are like go across the entire dashboard as one long display with multiple screens.
Which is kind of cool.
This one isn't there yet. I mean, truck dashboards are huge, but it does give you bigger screens. They've also given you, and they have this in the Jeep, in the Grand Wagoneer, the extra screen for the passenger.
Yes, so you can play with that.
It's a 10.3-inch passenger screen, touch screen. It doesn't do everything that you can do in the main touch screen, but it lets the passenger do some stuff and control some things. Control
the audio.
Yeah, you can do some stuff and you can eliminate the driver from having to be distracted. And you truly cannot see the screen. So if you were watching something on that screen, it's not as if the driver is going to be able to glance over. I've tried it in every vehicle that I've ever had, like that has a secondary screen like that over on the passenger side. If you lean over, like if you look over as a driver, you can't see it. And when the car is
parked,
like
the privacy screens on laptops.
Yeah,
you can't see
you have to come. You literally have to come so you're over looking at the shoulder of the passenger.
Like the person in the
basically.
back seat can see it because they can look over your shoulder.
The back seat passengers could see it, but front seat
passengers
passengers
can't. Is this fine to let
can't.
the poor passenger do things that normally they lock the driver out of while you're moving? Like,
I don't know, like pairing a cell phone. I did not try that. That's a good
some
question.
of that, or typing in an address for a nav.
I have to try that. We'll have to try because at some point we'll have one of these.
Because I hate that when I'm a passenger trying to do this and it's saying, "I'm sorry, the vehicle's
moving." Some of them now say, don't use this while operating the vehicle. Click OK, and then it.
Yeah.
But I always have felt like if it can recognize there's a button in the seat to tell me to put on my
airbags
and to disable airbags. If there's a button in the seat.
Let the person.
I feel like that should be the rule. I don't know why they don't do that. I need to ask some safety engineer
I feel
why.
Like you should be lobbying for this.
I should be lobbying for this. My new thing. I have a cause. I'll need a sign.
Button seat sensing. For typing on the screens. I think that's the thing.
I mean, I guess let's make that my new mission. Hey, wait, did we just drive by a bakery? Okay, so it's March. It is, as we're recording this, it is March 3rd.
The green month.
The green month, because the month of all things being Irish, because St. Patrick's Day is this month.
Exactly.
And I love St. Patrick's Day. I genuinely am Irish.
I am Irish by marriage.
You're Irish by marriage, which isn't as cool as the actual Irish.
No, it's not. Our children are Irish by blood, and I am Irish by marriage and association.
Yes. And so being Irish by association, or me just actually being Irish, I'm all about the green stuff. I'm all about the Irish stuff for St. Patrick's Day. I actually decorate, put stuff up in the house. If I get my acting gear most years, there's shamrocks everywhere. And we do the whole St. Patrick's Day thing. And one of the things that I love about St. Patrick's Day is the foods that aren't normally green that become green. Not because they're moldy in the fridge, but things that they dye green.
Intentionally green.
Intentionally green. Right. Like you can go to some bakeries and they have, our bagel shop does this, and they make green bagels.
Yeah, you want things that are not normally green to be green.
Right.
I mean, a green topped frosted cupcake is cute, but that can be green all the time. But like a green bagel, like a food that's not normally green, that really gets where it gets fun.
I guess it's the same idea with shamrock shakes. They're not normally green, right?
Normally you don't have a green milkshake because it's generally not an appealing color.
Although we got I haven't gotten a shamrock shake in years because remember the year we got one and clearly something was off from the mix.
The mix was off.
It was like you were sucking down pure, unadulterated mint.
When those things first came out, I used to drink those like all the time. I was a teenager, but I used to drink them all the time.
They were the best,
They were the best. They still are the best when you get them right.
I know, but when you get them wrong, they're... It's like wasabi. A little bit of wasabi is fine.
Too much mint,
wasabi kills
or
you.
not well mixed in the milkshake.
Too much McDonald's mint flavor in a Shamrock Shake is eye-watering. Yes. Right. So we do always get the green bagels. Do you know the first place I ever got green bagels? I don't even know if you remember this.
Was it when I was in college?
Yeah, it was at your college. You went to school at Virginia Tech,
Blacksburg,
and there was a place called McAdoo's.
I think they're still around.
They are, because I Googled to find it. McAdoo's is still there.
Yeah.
And we went to McAdoo's, which at the time, it's just a pretty normal, average, everything American
like
restaurant.
Tchotchke on the walls, that kind of thing.
Weird stuff.
They're
on
not
the
a
walls.
chain, but they're that kind of vibe.
And they felt really fancy at the time because I was a broke college student.
Yes.
And the fact
it was like,
that we went to McAdoo's.
Yes.
But they did have a green bagel there.
They had these really great sandwiches, and some of them are on bagels.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they make their own bagels or they get them from a local bagel shop.
I don't know. I don't even know if they still do the bagels.
But I remember
McAdoo's
they had
still
green
there.
bagel sandwiches, and it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Because they really got into, they did green beer. Green beer's another thing.
Green beer's another thing.
Yeah.
Green beer's another one. But I'm not a huge beer drinker.
No, me neither.
And I feel like to get the green beer, you have to be willing on St. Patrick's Day to go to a bar. And that is a commitment, my friend.
Well, especially an Irish bar. You got to be really hardcore.
Because they get a little crazy.
They do.
And you can embrace the crazy, but you just have to be ready to embrace the crazy of being there with it. But it feels too much. And it felt this way to me when I was 21. It still felt like too much like a drunken frat party. I did enjoy those when I was in my 20s. I don't enjoy them anymore now.
It's a little different vibe. But we do have several great Irish pubs/restaurants.
We do. That just get regular beer.
That do get really great on St. Patrick's Day. I like to go to them near St. Patrick's Day.
The what?
I like to go to them near St. Patrick's Day, like the week before or the week of, and kind of get the vibe when they're building up and all the decorations are up and you're going to see what they're going to do. But then I don't usually go on St. Patrick's Day just because it's a little bit insane.
My family has an Irish bar in Philadelphia.
Yes.
And they actually, I remember talking to them about it, like it's my uncle and my couple of my cousins that own it. And they say how great it is, but also, oh God, it's like the worst day ever.
Yeah, exactly.
You make a ton of money. It's super busy. It's great for business, but the chaos,
it's insanity.
the mess, the exactly what you'd expect from a crazy day. But so I'm all excited about the green bagel again.
Yes.
I expect to have green bagels. The other thing, somebody had done this when the girls were little girls, and I thought it was really cool. They make it look like a leprechaun has come and caused chaos in the house.
Oh, yes.
Overnight, kind of like the Elf on the Shelf thing, right? So part of it, they would put, like some people would like dye things green, like the green eggs and ham, you can make it green,
Right.
So you can do that. And all these kids thought it was really cool. And I remember seeing other kids loving this. And so I'm like, well, I'm going to do something like this for our girls when they're little. One of them is you put a drop of green food coloring in the milk. Yeah.
So you turn the gallon of milk in the fridge.
Well, I didn't turn the gallon of milk. I just put the green food coloring in a glass.
Yeah, and they love our milk. So they love milk. They're both big milk drinkers.
I found out later that one of our girls thought that the milk was poison.
Yes, they thought the leprechauns were up to evil.
So one chugged it. One thought it was poison. And I look back and I'm like, wait. Okay, I get you were a little kid and you were confused. I mean, you believe the leprechaun did it, first of all. But secondly, you really thought I was going to be like, hey, enjoy the poison milk this morning on your way to school, sweetheart.
Maybe the leprechaun tricked you too.
No.
There's some of those evil leprechaun movies out there. I don't know if the girls ever watched those.
Them.
I didn't think they had, but maybe they had.
7 or 8 years old.
Maybe there's some dark animated cartoon with like evil leprechauns that we're not aware of.
So I discovered I apparently scarred one child for life because I was putting green food coloring in because I thought I was doing a cute thing and she thought it was poison.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, these are the unintended consequences.
I should pour a glass of milk on St. Patrick's Day this year and be like, drink it, make it green. Are you having like flashbacks? Are you traumatized now?
So what's your favorite all-time St. Patrick's Day sort of treat you've ever had? Made at a various restaurant. Doesn't matter what it is.
Something that just comes out at St. Patrick's.
Yeah.
I actually love Irish soda bread.
Irish soda bread. Mm-hmm. All right. For the listeners who don't know what that is, describe Irish soda bread.
It's kind of a plain bread. It's not very fancy. It's a little bit on the dry side. And sometimes they put raisins and stuff in it or currants.
But we know that raisins is the devil's fruit.
Raisins is the devil's fruit that makes you think it's chocolate and it's not.
So you prefer Irish soda bread with no raisins?
I don't like it with the raisins. I have about 100 different recipes, and I think I made it once or twice. I'm pretty good baking.
Yeah.
So I made some good Irish. But Irish soda bread, you got to toast it, put too much butter on it.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
That does sound good.
That absolutely would be. What's your favorite thing?
I do like anything green. So I do like the green bagel thing.
What about corned beef and cabbage?
Yes. I don't like the cabbage so much, but I do like corned beef.
I don't like
So
it.
I do like that corned beef becomes very prevalent around St. Patrick's Day at my favorite diners.
It's not always good. Sometimes it's really...
No, you got to go to the right places.
I think I keep getting corned beef that is not
So a good deli
really good.
or a good diner.
We should probably go to one of our Irish restaurants you were just talking about. And see what kind of... Because
right,
they have
right now is a good time
too.
to go because you go before it's St. This is the trick. You don't go on St. Patrick's Day.
Go before.
Unless you like the crazy.
Yeah.
But if you don't want the crazy, you go the week of, and they'll have all their supplies and all the fresh everything for the big day. And you get it early, and it's a little less
So maybe
crazy.
corned beef and cabbage with green beer for us and poison green milk for the kids.
Yes. Corned beef and cabbage on a green bagel.
Kicking
With
it
green
up.
beer, a small green beer.
We have a plan.
Right. Thanks for listening to The Road Reflected. To follow more of Nicole Wakeland's adventures, head on over to NicoleWakeland.com. There you'll find links to her social media from TikTok to Twitter, as well as her work across a wide range of media outlets. Until next time, keep it shiny side up.